perfused. They can be moved on to the dry ice. Dry ice cool down will take a number of hours, possibly around half a day off the top of my head, I'm remembering from memory here, to get down to dry ice temperatures. The dry ice is then replaced with new dry ice, and the patient shipped abroad. Now, if we have got all our paperwork in order and there is a flight at a convenient time, this will be quite rapid. You're as likely to know as well as I do off the top of your head how often there are likely to be flights from the UK to Michigan or Arizona. They go on normal commercial airlines, by the way. This is very commonly done with people who die in countries who are not their own. They're very often repatriated in the luggage hold of commercial airlines. So if you've flown lots of times, you've probably flown with dead bodies underneath you more than once. And then once it gets into the United States, because we fly obviously directly into the state in question, we don't have borders within the United States to cross, so that speeds things up a bit. Ideally, there will be no paperwork hassle in the US. Again, we can't guarantee. All in all, in an ideal world, the whole thing could happen in the space of a few days, which is fine once the patient is cooled down. This change is occurring very, very slowly, so a few days is not at all problematic. If needs be, funeral directors, when they're just repatriating bodies normally, just for burial cremation, they will be content, if needs be, to keep a patient on dry ice for 3 to 6 weeks, and no major breakdown occurs during that time. Obviously, the less delay, the better. So ultimately, it basically depends on how well all the individual parts of the system fit together in an individual case, bearing in mind that no two cases are the same. So it can be quite a wide range from very quickly to quite a drawn-out process. Yes?
Thanks to do.
Welcome.
Just thinking forward, does the body need a visa then, because it's effectively being immigrated in?
The funeral directors handle all that side of things for us. We don't handle that, we pay them to do it for us.
Sure.
So the honest answer is I don't know.
So I'm just thinking, when they wake up, then are they now a US citizen?
Good question. When they wake up, I don't think that part has been tremendously thought about. Me, I'll be perfectly happy to be British, American, or have no citizenship as long as I'm alive.
But there were people sent from Europe to US. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who've already been conveyed from Europe to the United States. Yes.
Sorry, what do you expect from cryonics in the nearest future? Say 20, 30 years from now. What will cryonics look like in
an ideal world, it'll be redundant by then. I view cryonics as the second worst thing that could ever possibly happen to me. I hope to avoid it. There are biogerontologists working on, genetic cures for aging. There are other people looking into other things, drugs that people can take that will lengthen the telomeres, the sheets that protect DNA and cause aging when they degrade.
Do you think we'll solve this problem in 20 years?
Maybe. We're quite close and quite far in a number of areas, so I don't know. I don't mostly trouble myself to guess. I mostly work in the here and now and focus on what I can do at this time to improve my chances and the chances of those I encounter. But it is anybody's guess for the future. Any more for any more?
I have a question.
Yep.
We talk about organ preservation, but that includes only the structure part of the brain or also the functional part of the brain. I'm talking about patterns of activity in the brain.
Presently, only the structure. The hope here being, and it is at this stage, that there is a way to put back those patterns there, bearing in mind that there is no pressing reason why information-theoretic deaths should occur from the pattern stopping. If you were to take my computer here and erase the hard drive, you delete everything, and smash the computer into bits with a sledgehammer or an ice pick or something, and set fire to the pieces, then as long as the temperature didn't go above the melting point of silicon, I forget what it is, but it's quite high, then people from MI5 will still be able to reconstruct the data on it. Now obviously that's a computer, and this is a biological computer. You know, there's silicon and you know, this is human cells. But the idea of preserving with vitrification methods is that the body's cells become like a solid liquid state, a glass-like substance, obviously with the understanding that glass is mostly silicon. It's entirely silicon, I'm no chemist, so I'm not sure. And ultimately there is a possibility that we'll be able to retrieve that. It's only a possibility, but again, something is better than nothing. What some people do, not everybody does this, I personally have engaged in doing it, is do as much as you can to store as much information about yourself should memories need to be reinserted. Understand that the initial parts of personality are doubtlessly genetic in nature. You know, we find a lot of identical twins who have very similar personalities, and a lot of it is down to somebody's experiences. Now, it has been demonstrated that there is no difference in terms of brain patterns between a real memory and a falsely implanted memory. You know, if I were to meet you at a party and reminisce about some other party that we met at previously, even though we'd never met before, if there are enough details that were a little bit close to other details that you remember, you'd pretty soon remember meeting me if I was convincing enough in my story. So it's not tremendously problematic if memories go, if they can be reinserted. How then to store a lifetime's memories? Well, it's very, very difficult, obviously. My personal approach is to do it piecemeal and take representative samples. I live my life somewhat in the public eye. I'm regretfully quite easy to stalk. I say that because somebody doing something a little bit unusual is prone to attracting stalkers every now and again. And I also record snapshots of my life using recording glasses. I don't actually have them with me today because I figured out I'm going to be recording the bulk of the thing. But sometimes when I'm doing something that I think this will be a good thing, that is a typical thing for me to be doing, that may form part of my life enough that it seems a relevant memory to store, and it simply films it from a first-person perspective. I can record about 6 hours at a time before I need to upload it, change the battery, etc. I additionally engage in timelining, journaling, that kind of thing, recording key events in my life. Ultimately, there's also the Terrasem project and CyberRev, which is more to do with mind uploading, personality uploading in the generally understood sense in the field of transhumanism. That is to say, uploading the mind into a computer. And the Terrasem and CyberRev will store lots and lots and lots of information about you, and you know, your life journaling. You can complete a host of personality questionnaires, things like that. In other words, anything that we know about ourselves that we think may form part of our mind or personality, to reconstruct it, we'll store that so that that can be implanted later in terms of false memories. They'll actually be real memories implanted falsely.
That goes back to CI with you, that whatever your journal...
CI provides a small amount of storage space for personal effects. If I make arrangements for my journals and what have you to be stored there, they will be stored there. As it stands, I personally have made no such arrangements and am content for my information to be stored in a cloud-based situation, you know, dotted about the internet, and additionally in various storage devices at my home. Obviously, there is an issue of future compatibility. Information degrades over time, doesn't last forever, file formats change, that kind of thing. However, most things tend to be backwards compatible. So whereas a computer